comes in a man's life where you are pushed into a corner where you need to showcase your leadership skills, you need to showcase how great of a leader are you by the world around you, which actually prepares you for the better and for the worse as well. We cannot deny the fact that as men, we are the pillars of this world. We are the ones who are holding it down. We are the ones who must take responsibility as well as accountability. We must shape the world in a way that it looks greater to live in. We must prepare for the next generations, for them to come in a world where it is accommodating them in such a way where they're able to fully express themselves the way they want to. We must give the next generation that kind of a freedom, the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech, having to say whatever they want to say whenever they want to say it. Because right now I can slightly say that we're living in a world where we can say whatever we want to say, but there's consequences. You can say whatever you want to say, but you might have regrets. 10 years, 5 years later, you might not actually agree with the things that you said 5 years ago. And I'm at a point in my life where I totally disagree with most of the things that I used to say back in the days. And that doesn't simply mean that I see myself as a bad person. No, it's only to admit that I have lived that life. I've been that kind of a person that said whatever they said, but that doesn't truly define who I am today. I'm a changed man, and highly believe that for you to be stuck in that idea of you once said 1, 2, 3 is that kind of a person, you are still stuck in my past. No, every man shouldn't be defined by what they went through. They should be defined by the decisions that they are making today. But they should be defined based on whatever they are saying today. We shouldn't define people based on their past. We should judge people based on the decisions that we're making. We're born looking like our parents, but we'll die looking like our decisions. We shouldn't be defined based on where we are coming from. We should be judged or even defined by the things that we're doing today. Hence, I made that illustration of we live in a world where we are being judged by people who do worse than us. We are being judged by people who do even worse things that not every person can ever imagine. But that's the world that we're living in, and we should shape the society in such a way where we feel like I can be myself the way I want to. I can fully express myself the way I want to without having to judge myself. I allow people into my space by sharing whatever I share, but that doesn't give you the whole freedom of having a different perception of me. Yes, I understand that in whichever way I try to deliver my message, you are going to comprehend it in different ways. And that's not my role to actually make you understand the information that I'm sharing the way I want you to. No, my role is to give you a glimpse of who I am, not entirely who I am. Because entirely who I am, it is what gives me power. It is what gives me leverage. And you shouldn't blame me for not being able to share my message in such a way that you even understand it. I know there are people who are able to comprehend some of my messages. Some of them may be controversial, and that doesn't simply mean that that's the way I am. That's the way of how I view this world. That's my point of view when it comes to this world. That's my perception of this world, and that doesn't simply define the person that I am from my personal life as well as my professional life, because I carry myself in a way that it doesn't leave you on question mark, because I'm someone who believes in being transparent, who believes in being vulnerable, who believes in being authentic. because people are tied to authenticity. If you are, as a leader, you are not authentic, how are you going to lead people the right way? Because people are most likely to listen to people who they can relate to. Firstly, people who talk about things that they are going through on their daily basis. And as a leader, if you are not able to tap into that realm, you lose the people around you. You lose the people who you shouldn't lose, just because you fail to be vulnerable, just because you fail to be authentic. And we shouldn't force people to be what they're actually not. The way I'm sharing my message, it is the way that I am, and I cannot change it. Sometimes I might try to maybe to spice it up, but that doesn't simply mean that having to spice things up, it is the way that I am. I'm just making it, or even packaging my message in such a way that the next person is able to understand, and I'm not forcing you to understand. Keep in mind. So having to share my message the very same way that I'm sharing it, I feel like I'm bringing some sort of light in other people's lives, as well as having to be someone who they're able to reflect, and also being able to resonate with some of my messages, even though some other people disagree with what I normally share or even talk about. But that's not my role to make you understand things the way I share them. But back to the main point of this YouTube video, as a leader, you must be a leader whom you would follow. Don't talk about things that you can't do. Don't say things that you can't even make an example of. You should live by your words. That's what attracts people. That's what people are attracted to. For me personally, I highly believe that having to be the person that I am, having the character or even the personal traits that I have, it simply means I'm authentic. And being authentic is not as enough as being honest and as well as trustworthy. People who know me personally, they can actually bet on me. And I've heard a lot of people saying it. I'm not claiming to be this maybe saint or whatever you may call it. But the point that I'm trying to deliver is that as a leader, you must strive to be authentic. As a leader, you must strive to be as transparent as you can, because that's what people are tied to. Hence, I wrote books which normally talks about leadership, what it means to be a leader, how can you become one. But I highly believe that everyone who is a leader, they are born leaders. They are not made leaders. So I highly believe that everyone can lead, regardless of your size, status, identity. It doesn't matter. As long as you're a natural born leader, you can actually lead. That's my whole point of doing this YouTube video. So for more life-changing information, I'll leave the link to my book, To the Leader I Knew, which was recently published. So to be part of this exciting yet challenging journey, just click the very first link in the description. On that note, if you have gained some sort of value in this YouTube video, please don't forget to comment. Let me know what value have you picked up in this video. Also guys, if you are new into this YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and press the notification bell, so whenever I get to upload, you will be the first one to be notified. On that note, I'll see you guys on our next YouTube video. This is your boy Duncan Mnisi. I'll see you guys on the next one. Do not forget to subscribe.